Good morning, a beautiful day, and the sun is not shining, but it's a beautiful day. I see you people laughing, and we're going to talk today Osho, the sex and the super consciousness. He presented that paper in 1968, August 28th, in Bombay. It's amazing. And let me tell you today about the sex and the super consciousness, which he put a book together, which was so famous in the world that went crazy. And you know, he came to this country when Ronald Reagan was president, and he wanted to live in this country. But unfortunately, nobody understood him because he talked about living in the present. And that's what Jesus Christ did when he said, become a watcher. When he says, become a watcher, and that's what he means. The kingdom is inside of you. That is, you live with the present and you become a watcher. You become a watcher and become totally conscious. And that's what he was talking about, the total consciousness. And that's what Osho was talking on 28th of August 1968 in Bombay. And he's talking about super sex. And he's basically talking about the love and meditation, if they are properly transferred, and they will convert into super sex. That means every generation which is born through dead human beings will become conscious because they are conscious, because man and woman are conscious. And I tell you, my father learned in 1941 from Dera Baba Nanak on what you call that Baba Sri Chand sannyasis, who taught him that the life which is given to us, all of us, is free gift. It should never be corrupted. But the mind is a heap of impression and thoughts and idea, and the body is a heap of food. And that's what we have become. And that's what he was talking, the Osho, that everybody should learn how to become totally conscious, because when the baby is born, the intellectual mind gives only 1% of consciousness. And that 1% has to go to 100%, because 99% is the mind phenomenon. That's what my father was talking. And that is the super consciousness. You have to become totally conscious to yourself, 100%. That means 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100% to this existence. And that's what my father learned. And that you become conscious of, that is the only way you can become conscious. And that is if you become watcher. And you become watcher of every thought which is coming. And you have to become totally, because the watcher is coming from the existence. And that 100% consciousness belongs to existence. It does not belong to you and me. But I know I have really become totally conscious of this existence, and I see the friend in front of me who is doing a meditation every day. And we are going to teach meditation to every one of you in all over the world, so that everybody become conscious of themselves and conscious to all the children which you have now. But you all have to become conscious so you can produce proper generation, the new one. All youngsters which are born, new one, should be totally become conscious. The only way they become conscious, unless you, husband, wife, become conscious. When my father got married, and that was, you're talking about 1941, the population was only 2.5 billions of dollars. Billions. Now we have more than 8 billion people. But it is not the fault of anybody. It is because of all conditioning. You have to become totally conditioned in a positive way. That means you have to become totally unconditional to yourself. That means you can live in the present. That means you are always learning how to become meditative to yourself. And we be teaching you all the time. But you have to become conscious by becoming the watcher and the watcher and the watcher. And that's what Osho said. And that's my father learned it. And that's where I learned from him. And I'm thankful to both of them. And I'm thankful to all over the world that everybody should become conscious to themselves, become a watcher. Not only watcher to themselves, because they become watchers, especially driving, and to their own family. Because we owe to the existence, but the existence is totally conscious, 100%, and totally in a meditative, and in a totally super consciousness. That means no mind, no disease. And that's what we are creating. And that's why we created all the problem in our body, technically, because our mind is a heap of impression and the body is a heap of food. I know my oldest daughter is now waking up. My second daughter is already awake. And I'm very, very happy. And that's what we want everybody. That's what we want Donald Trump to get totally wake up. So he can change this country. We can get back to what we need to do. And he can do that because he knows about the intellectual knowledge, which is totally artificial, totally conditioned. And I want to tell you, you should all become a watcher. Please, I request you and beg you, and I want to give you a book called The Cancer Cure Yourself Through Unconditional Consciousness. And you can get this book to the Rejuvenex family form at gmail.com. You can call our number 727-686-3489. Or you can come to our farm. That is 6741 Bee Ridge Road, Sarasota, Florida. And we have a meeting every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. And that meeting will last for 45 minutes. And you bring your question and we will teach you the unconditional consciousness. And you should always work with your doctor. And listen to your doctor. And work with the doctor. And we'll be happy to work with you. And I wish you all a happy day. God bless. Namaste. Amen.